Welcome to High Quality Trades, everyone, the channel where I give you my highest quality technical analysis on the stock market, and we go over simple support and resistance levels, trendline breaks, and pattern formations. And I give you the price targets of where price should be headed in the coming days. So let's get into it. In this video, we will be going over the weekly time frames on the SPY, the triple Qs, and the VIX. So first up, we have the SPY on the weekly time frame. This week, the SPY closed at 532.99. It reached a high of 534.51 and a low of 510.27. We were positive 0.09% on the week. Okay, guys, what is price currently doing? Well, it does look like we've gotten back above our support level here at 524.86. That does signal for price to push higher. We first need to break above the highs of this week's candle at 535.02. If we manage to do that, then that does signal for price to push up probably towards this ascending trend line here, and then that would reside somewhere in the 549.29 level. That would be where I would expect the most resistance to come in to the market. Now, that is the bullish scenario for next week. Let's say price falls below 524.86. Then that will signal price to push down towards the lows of this week's candle at 510.22. And if that level breaks, we will be headed down to 593.59. That will be the bearish scenario for the SPY next week. Now, some bullish signals. It does look like we have gotten back above the 20-period moving average here on the weekly time frame. So that is slightly bullish. There does look to be quite a bit of volume in this week's candle. So it is a bullish signal for price to push higher next week. We'll just have to see what price has in store for us next week. Alright guys, that is the weekly time frame for the SPY. Now let's go over the triple Qs. Alright, so this week, the triple Qs managed to get back above its support level at 446.34. That does signal for price to push a little higher. We first need to break above the highs of this candle at 552.19. If we're able to do that, then we should be headed higher back to retest probably our ascending trend line on the charts here, somewhere around 459.78. If price manages to get back above this trend line, that is a very bullish signal for the market. It does signal that price will be pushing higher back up to new all-time highs. But that's all the bullish scenario if we manage to break above the next resistance levels. It is possible next week that price gets all the way up to 474.98, which would be the highs of the candle from 2 weeks ago. But let's say price falls below 446.34. That does signal price to be falling lower in the coming week. We will first need to break below this past week's candle at 423.22. If price falls below this level, then we will be headed down towards the lows back from April at 413.54. That is the bearish scenario for next week. So it does look like we have found support at the 50-period moving average on the Qs, weekly time frame. That is a strong support level. So hopefully we can get back above this 20-period and then continue pushing higher in the market. But let's say this 20-period moving average holds as resistance. There will be a bad signal for price to fall lower back down towards the 50-period. And if that 50-period moving average breaks, then we don't have any support until probably the lows here around 394.36. Alright guys, so that is the weekly time frame on the triple Qs. Let's go over the VIX. Okay guys, this is a extremely bearish candle we've gotten on the weekly time frame for the VIX. I don't think I've ever seen a bearish inverted hammer candle like this. And the VIX has never produced one either. Back through its entire existence, the VIX has never produced an inverted hammer candle this large. The only time I could find anything even remotely close to the candle that we got for this week was this bearish engulfing candle we got back in August of 2015, where we opened up at 51.13 and we closed all the way down towards the lows at 25.25. So crazy price action we got that's never happened before. So let's just go over what the VIX is currently doing. This week, the VIX closed at 2036. And it does look like that is near the top of a gap on the daily chart. Yeah, right here. So it is likely that price falls to try to fill this gap around 1857 next week. But let's say that so we have support here at 1933. If 1933 manages to hold as support and we turn around and push higher, then we will have resistance at 2343. And if that level broke, we don't have any resistance till 3085. And also there is another gap on the daily chart that would fill somewhere around 3872. So if we fill this gap, it'd probably act as support and we could push higher. And then in the coming weeks, we would then possibly fill this gap. That's a likely scenario. Ultimately, we'll just have to see which way price decides to go this week. With this bearish topping tail type candle, this is a giant wick. That does signal for price to push lower next week. So that may be a very bullish sign for the market. We'll just have to wait and see. And with that, guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching high quality trades, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.